I'm here at Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Europe on the red sofa with Andy Winebloom, Senior Manager at Toyota Motor Europe. Andy, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, James.
You joined us last year here in Bonn, where you briefly introduced us to the concept of Toyota's packaging shared service team. What would you say have been the main priorities for the team this year and the biggest trends and challenges that you've seen?
Well, we've just gone through our second vehicle launch as a team. So with that, there's some opportunity to take stock and reflect on how that's gone, what's gone well. We can standardise, document and standardise that, but also from our customers and direct stakeholders, what actually can we improve as well, so the next launch can be even better. In terms of challenge, we're busy preparing our supply chain for PPWR. The first aspect of the regulation comes in August, so we're working with our suppliers outside of Europe specifically to get them ready for that. But then after that, in 2030, there'll be the next batch of regulation comes in, and that's not fully clear yet. So the challenge is that we're about to start designing our packaging now for 2030, but we don't have full visibility of the regulation just yet.
Yes. Of course, and that's something we're exploring a lot at this conference, the PPWR and the implications of that. Along with maximising synergy between plants across the continent, you identified the ability to build and retain skill as one of the key advantages of the packaging shared system team structure. How significant do you think that's been?
I think it's fundamental to our success. Packaging is very expensive, and the transportation of it is also extremely expensive as well. So to design packaging well and to minimise those two costs, you need somebody that has got a broad understanding of the supply chain and the needs of the stakeholders, plus some strong technical engineering skill as well. Now, bearing in mind a vehicle life cycle and the development of that vehicle will be 3 to 4 years, so it takes time to build that skill. Now, we don't want to lose that person after just one cycle of that. So we want to keep them in the business and on this job 2 or 3 or even more cycles.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. Could you please talk us through Toyota's 6-step approach for smarter vehicle launches?
Yes, sure. So part of Toyota's DNA is continuous improvement, and we've built this strategy around that. So the first thing that we'd do before anything else happens is go and understand the current situation on the shop floor. So in the current model, what problems do we have that we could fix during this model launch, and also listen to the voice of the member fitting the parts to the vehicle to see what improvement suggestions they also have as well. We also engage with design at the very earliest opportunity to try and influence the shape and size and assembling level of the parts to get the most efficient logistics that we can. We've also got our external regulation. We've talked about PPWR extensively at the conference, but also internally we've got some drivers, things like what we call any member, any process. And this is our opportunity to try and enhance our diversity in the workforce. And we've got a target to achieve 30% female ratio within our manufacturing areas. That, of course, impacts the design of our packaging. Then finally, we've got our Kaizen and continuous improvement. So we'll look for waste within the packaging and trying to eliminate that. And we're also exploring new technologies to try and leverage and also make sure that we're compliant with PPWR.
And one of the things you mentioned on stage was that packaging is being considered earlier now in the process of new model launches and even influencing the design of parts. How important do you think design for logistics and design for packaging is in terms of delivering cost as well as sustainability and efficiency results?
In our experience, the earlier you can be involved, the better. And you can influence the part shape, design, the assembly level to make it more efficient for logistics and packaging. This, coupled with early engagement with purchasing about supplier selection and getting those big, expensive and complex parts closer to the delivery point, the better. And in our experience, we've been able to save up to 30% of our logistics costs based on that.
Thank you very much, Andy, and I look forward to hearing more from Toyota's packaging shared system over the next year. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.